Yoski Woski, it's your Pusher Man Chan here. Mind of a Maniac, cell 31, I believe. And I'm gonna just go ahead and just get this shit out of my system about this Kanye and Kim Kardashian situation, because I want to talk about the documentary, but I'm gonna just get to the bullshit first. So I'll just go ahead and get this out the way. But this divorce situation it's one of those situations where somebody puts you in a group chat and you wish that you would just get taken out of it. Like, for real. This shit is so ridiculous. First and foremost, the fact that it's all in the tabloids is just, that's the news. All the shit that they post on the internet now, that's the news of today. This is 2022. This is fucking ridiculous. But all the shit he's doing, and I love Kanye. Anybody knows me knows I love the fuck out of Kanye. Creatively, I can't talk, my mouth's fucked up. Anything he like creates, his genius, all that shit, I'm with. But what he's doing is some childish adolescence, like real kid, immature shit. Like, I can't agree. I don't agree with the shit what he's doing, and that shit's really not the wave. But there's one thing a lot of people are really flying by or really not talking about. This heifer Kim Kardashian has had 4 marriages. Don't nobody want to talk about that? I'm not saying what Kanye's doing is right. Like I said, what he's doing is some fuck shit. But prior to this, she was married 3 times. Like, for real. Like, maybe you had some issues beforehand. Maybe you just have a poor judgment of people. Or poor judgment of character. Or just, you just don't know what you like or what you want for real. Which means you don't know who you are. But 4 marriages though, nobody wants to really discuss that. Like I said, I'm not saying what Kanye did or what he didn't do behind closed doors or whatever the fuck's going on. I'm not saying he's the reason or not the reason for why they're getting divorced. But, like, you've been through this several times over and over. And not only that, after watching the documentary, and true Kanye fans already know this too, especially if you're grown and actually seen him and you've been growing the whole entire time he's been growing too, he's been the same nigga the whole entire time. He has not changed. He's been the same individual his whole entire motherfucking life. Nothing has changed at all. If you watch the documentary, his persistence, his drive, his passion, how he's just so out there and just outlandish, and how he can be arrogant and confident and all that shit. He's been like that his whole life. A lot of people say all this money changed him. No, money did not change him. It enhanced him. It threw a light on everything that he was already about, and now it's exposed everywhere. That money did not change him at all. It just gave him steroids. And she knew who he was beforehand and still decided to get with this man and have a bunch of kids by him. So now you stuck and tied to him for the rest of your life, whether you like it or not. I don't care what nobody says. When you have a child with somebody, it's not just 18 years, okay? When I almost drank myself to death, I was 25. And guess what? My mama had to communicate with my daddy during that time, even though I was grown as fuck. So I don't care. As long as that child's alive and you're alive, if something happens, you're going to have to communicate with that person. I don't care what nobody says. So you're going to have some type of connection, whether you like it or not. So now she's tied to him forever. Okay? So, and you see how he's fighting for his kids. So, and he's talking about, like, wherever she moves, he's moving next door and all that shit. I mean, you're going to have to deal with that. Like, you chose this. Like, nobody forced you to marry these people. Nobody forced you to have these kids. Like, people, like, when you fuck, that's how you make a child. Okay? When you fuck, a child happens. You don't get a child with love. You get a child with fucking. Okay? We're animals. Animals fuck every day and they push out kids. We do the same thing. Okay? So we need to be wise with who we decide to lay with and marry and all that shit, because that shit can be detrimental to your health. For real. But like I said, like, I'm not saying it's his fault or her fault. I don't know who the fuck fault it is. What I'm saying is everybody knew what the fuck they were signing up for. And like I said in the documentary, it showed that he had a porn addiction this whole entire time. So it perfectly fits. Like, look all the women that he fucks with. He married pretty much the highest profile porn star, even though she wasn't a porn star, but she was famous because of a porn tape. Okay? So he married her because she basically epitomizes sex. So he knew what he was signing up for. She knew what she was signing up for. Like, am I supposed to feel bad that I don't feel bad? Like, everybody knows what the fuck they sign up for in life. Any and everything you get and take and blessed with, you have to take everything that comes with it. The blessing and the curse, the good and the bad, everything. Just like his genius is so amazing that it, like, basically, I'm not gonna say cancels out the fuck shit, but a wise man once said, if you're a genius and it, like, if you do something and it works, you're a genius. But if it doesn't work, you're crazy. It's just like sports. You can have a terrible game, but if you win, that's the only thing that matters. You don't believe me? Go back and look at Peyton Manning's last Super Bowl win. Okay, he had a trash-ass game, but he won. Nobody talks about that because he was holding up the Lombardi trophy. Don't nobody give a fuck that he had a terrible-ass game. That's why Von Miller was the MVP, because it was a defensive game. Peyton Manning sucked that game, but he won. Nobody talks about it. As long as you win, and as long as the ideas you work make you a genius, nobody gives a fuck about the fuck shit, for real. That's the world we in, man. Like, the metaverse, fuck the metaverse. We been in the Matrix. We been plugged in and don't nobody knows who the fuck they are. This shit's been going on, alright? But as far as the documentary, that documentary was incredible. Even though it's part one, there's 2 more parts, but that shit was very inspiring and motivational. Because like I said, he's been the same way. His drive and his passion, it's been there. It's been there, and his persistence and the connection with him and his mom. You can tell Donda not being here is taking a huge toll on him. For real, because she is the main person who can basically calm him and talk some fucking sense into him. And she's not here. It showed it in the fucking documentary. But that shit was dope. For real. Like, that's one of them things, that's one of those documentaries I can go back and watch again. Because just all the shit that goes in there with it. And I don't know, it's just, after watching that, if they don't motivate you to do something, then you're just not going to be motivated. Whether you love him or hate him, that shit is just not about him or everything he's doing. It's about everything that he did and what it took to get to where he's at. For real. But everything he did, it got him to where he's at now. Now he's a very, very powerful man, which is why, like I said, all that shit enhanced him. Like, that money, that shit did not give him. There's a difference between freedom and power. Like, he was, like, shitting on so much, and he wanted so much freedom to where now he's worth, what, $6 or $10 billion. That freedom turned into power. And a lot of people confuse that. Because now the reason why he's doing all this stupid ass shit is because he's a powerful individual. A lot of us want to be free, but a lot of us just want power to do whatever the fuck we want. But just because you have power doesn't mean you're supposed to abuse it, though. But I don't know. He's still a genius, though, but all this shit is still some fuck shit. But like I said, it's just the fact that all this shit is just all in the news, and this is what the fuck that we have to look and talk about. That shit is fucking just asinine. But I don't know. I don't know shit. I just fly on the radar and stay the fuck out the way. But one thing I do know, I'm gonna go get me a motherfucking burrito. I'm hungry as shit. Fuck with me though.